To make up for their long-lost biological son, my filthy rich adoptive parents cut ties with me just because I didn't come home one night. And even my fiancée Ashley, who I had loved for 11 years, didn't care whether I lived or died. She pushed me into the pool, even though I had a raging fever and couldn't swim a single stroke, and left me soaking in there for over 4 hours straight. But once I finally gave up and decided to leave, every single one of them would lose their minds right now just because I refused to give up my grad school spot. They had me standing in the rain for 2 hours with nowhere to turn. I had no choice but to cave and shouted toward the house. Fine, I will give my grad school spot to my brother Jason. The front door of the mansion slowly swung open, and my fiancée Ashley looked down at me with cold eyes. Her tone was icy. Was that so hard? See, no big deal, she held an umbrella. And let me inside even though I was soaked to the bone. That usual indifferent look in her eyes now carried a hint of obvious satisfaction. She poured me a cup of hot water and said with me by your side the grad school thing. Shouldn't matter to you at all, but Jason is different. He spent so many years stuck out in the middle of nowhere and he's way behind academically. He struggles to keep up in class, but at least he's motivated. Do him a solid this time, will you? Ashley's tone sounded gentle on the surface, but underneath it was an unshakable certainty, like she already knew I would give in. I stared at the woman standing right in front of me, my whole body trembling uncontrollably. The cold I felt inside was way more bone-chilling than standing out in the rain. This was the woman I had been head over heels for 11 years, my own fiancée, and it wasn't until today that it finally hit me. She wasn't cold-hearted by nature. She just saved every bit of that coldness for me. I have no memory of my early childhood as far back as I can remember. I grew up in an orphanage. When I was 10, the Fang family adopted me. Back then they had just lost their biological son, and the whole family was wrapped up in grief even after taking me in. The vibe at home never really lifted. The Fang parents had crazy high expectations for me, always comparing me to Jason, hoping I would turn into the perfect rich kid son they always wanted. Those days were brutal. My schedule was packed with endless tutoring sessions and extracurriculars, and I got chewed out constantly through all of it. Ashley was the only bright spot in that miserable chapter of my life. She had this effortless grace about her, quiet and reserved, but she always handled everything flawlessly. She was like the most dazzling girl in any room, and I couldn't help but be drawn to her. I literally could not take my eyes off her. As luck would have it, our two families were close and they had arranged a betrothal for us when we were kids. After the real Jason went missing, the engagement got passed down to me, the adopted kid. From age 10 to 21, I always knew she was my future fiancée. Ashley never clearly returned my feelings, but she never turned me down either. She always played the part of a devoted fiancée and stayed by my side. I used to think she could see me quietly watching over her, that my sincerity had gotten through to her, and she was willing to let me in. She even showed genuine care every now and then, but just when I thought things between us were getting warmer, Jason showed up, and from that day on, everything changed. The heat from the cup was burning my fingertips. I snapped back to reality and headed into the bathroom. To rinse off the rainwater, Ashley stood in place, watching me walk away, and I suddenly stopped in my tracks. She always pulled this move whenever I was about to walk away for good. She would toss me just enough of a small gesture to keep me from leaving. But this time I did not feel the warmth she was expecting. I turned around and looked at her coldly. Ashley, I can't swim. I definitely can't dive either, so who exactly is Ashley planning to take to the Maldives? The answer was obvious, but Ashley did not even flinch. She just kept her composure and followed up with, then where do you want to go for the holidays? I will take care of everything. It was rare for her to actually ask for my opinion. I didn't push back, but I didn't respond either. I let out a bitter laugh. It was the